Hi, I'm Diane Conklin from CompleteMarketingSystems.com. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about marketing plans. We get a lot of people who ask us questions about planning. How do I set up my marketing sequences? How do I set up my marketing strategy? How do I know how many steps to do and how deep to go in a marketing funnel? Well, part of that depends on really what the event is, what's at stake in your marketing, right? How much, is this a $100,000 day? Is this a $1 million weekend? Is this a launch that potentially could bring you $1 million, or is it just a teleseminar or a webinar? So there's a lot of variation in the answer to this question. But what I want to show you just really quickly is we do this a lot of. I do a lot of marketing plans for people who are launching, for people who are doing events, live events, teleseminars, webinars, people who are want some help like setting up their free offers, right, and their autoresponders and those kinds of things. So I do this a lot, and one of the things that I use is what I call a marketing map. It's really just a mind map kind of thing. You could do this on a timeline, you could do this with a calendar, and we actually do both. We tend to sit down with a mind map and map everything out. I have a friend who calls these spiders, and I'll show you why in just a minute. So we sort of map everything out, and then we put everything on a calendar so that it's visible, and everybody sort of knows where we're going and what we're doing. But let me just show you sort of an example. This will be a really rough example on the board here of a mind map. So the first thing that we do is I always start with what I call the X date, and that's going to be the date of the event. All right, no matter what it is, whether it's a live event, whether it's a launch, a teleseminar, whatever it is. And then coming off of each of those, which is why we call it a spider, would be our marketing media, what we're going to do. So this might be direct mail. This might be email. This might be JVs. Okay? We could do other things. This might be a teleseminar or a webinar, all right, that we're doing. And so once we know what the media are, and let's just say those are the 4 that we're going to utilize, then what I do is I come back in here and I say, okay, this X date is 45 days away. So I need to start my marketing now, depending on what it is, sometimes sooner, at 30 days. Let's just say I'm going to start my marketing at 30 days. And so the first thing that's going to happen is at the day 30, I'm going to send a direct mail piece. So that's one. At day 37, I'm going to send a second piece. And then I come up here and decide where in the order I'm going to put other things. So what ends up happening now is I've got 4 or 5 things coming off the email. I've got 4 or 5 things coming off the JV. I have 4 or 5 or 8 or 10 or however many things coming off of each one of these areas. So what I would do here is I would put the date that these need to go, and I would put the actual like the idea behind it. If there's a theme or a particular thing that we're doing, or the headline, or if we're doing it in conjunction, say, with a holiday or something like that, then I would put that up there. So this is sort of my broad picture, my big idea of what I'm going to do, and then it allows me to visually see and coordinate. Okay, I've got a mail piece here, 5 days later, 3 to 5 days later, I need to send an email, and I need to integrate my marketing, so I'm going to talk about the mail piece that I sent inside of the email, right? It's a great strategy to do that. We call that integrated marketing concepts, which we can talk about on another video or at another time. Or you can find out more about that actually at our website at CompleteMarketingSystems.com if you'd like. So this is just a sample. Typically what we would do with this then is put it on the calendar and look at it. We would color code. Emails in blue, direct mail in green, doesn't matter, but color code them because I'm visual and I like to see that. And so we would color code those so we get a good idea of, okay, well, those are too close together, and then that's how we would set up that marketing plan. So there are a lot of ways to do this. This is certainly only one. This is the way that I like to do it because it just seems to help me get a better idea of what we're doing. You could use a timeline, you could use the calendars. Again, you could use multiple things. A lot of people do this online because they're pretty tech savvy. I learned in the business with what I call the stubby pencil model, and so that's sort of what I've continued to do. So I hope that was helpful. If you need some help with a marketing plan, check us out at CompleteMarketingSystems.com. We can certainly help you with that there. Have a great day.